There's different ways to escape side control, but again, it depends on how they're controlling you. And you have to understand, you guys hear my? Whenever you're, let's say I pass this guard here, and look at what a small space there is here to get side control, but fine, let's say I just dig myself in here, okay? I couldn't even isolate his arm because before I drop my knee to my elbow here, he begins to slowly frame my hip with his right arm right there, yes. And I prefer that this hand is moving towards you so that right there, it locks. What happens here is that I can't quite easily just step over and get around. His elbow pinches here, okay? And his hand can be on my shoulder, left hand, yeah, as you, yes. So that now, right here, I'm not in a very good position. I could put my knee down, but I can't quite get around this elbow here, which is a problem for me because I know that space is going to be exploited. The other thing is that as I have this cross face here, he slowly begins to move his hips away, just like we did, yes, right here. And then now I have to begin to control his hips because this already is too static on my part, and I'm just literally holding on to him. He's moving, meanwhile I'm holding. He's going to get ahead of me, and his position will improve. My position is literally staying the same, unless I'm just like really trying to control his face and all that. But the problem is that I don't control his hips, so just slowly walk your hips away more, turning on your right side. Yes, right, yeah, right there. So now what happens is that I'm already getting stuck back in that half guard right here or some sort of open guard. Take your right knee out. So right here, I would probably recognize to begin to kind of control the hip right here. This is where he brings his hand, his left hand controls my face and frames my face. Good. Same thing with the palms, like fingers, like your ring finger pointing you in the eye. Okay? Now what he's going to do here is that my hand can't control his head like with a good, what do you call it, a cross face. So what Mike's going to do is he's going to tuck his chin to his chest. He's going to roll his hip, meaning like lift his hips in the air, tuck your chin, and then he's going to do the telephone towards the right side of his shoulder. But don't look, just tilt your head and shoulder. Okay? And now the problem here is that now my wrist is stuck. As he slowly begins to push my head towards his left knee here, he puts a lot of pressure on that wrist right there. Okay? Which creates a big problem for me because now I got to pull this out. For me to pull this out, I can't pull it out at this angle. I have to almost like do this and pull it out this way here, okay? Which enables now Mike, all right, to go ahead and loop that right hand through inside this elbow. Yes, yes, and now overhook it with your right, yes. And now pin it to your elbow here. Yeah. But don't overhook, just pinch. Right elbow? Yes, right here. And start turning slowly onto your right side, moving the hip away. I have to adjust my hips, otherwise he key locks me in a really horrible way here. And now, it's not side control anymore. My arm, I need to get it back somehow. He's working to get back into an open guard. This hand right here now doesn't need to frame my face. He can now threaten this arm right here. Don't overhook it, just pinch your elbow here. Okay, start arching away. Yes, right here. And now this one is still threatened right here. Okay, because I can't get it back. So he can now sit up right here, and now he's got this trap right here. He loads my weight on, and then yeah, see. So you have to recognize how they're controlling you. So now what I'm gonna do basically is this, all right? I wanna retract my elbows here. And as I walk my hip head here, okay, he feels me start walking away here, right? Yes, and he begins to control the hip. So right here, I begin to kind of control his arm, and now I bring my arm in, and it's still like you're spreading with framing here, right here, right? And now from here, the problem is that he can't effectively pull out that arm because I'm not looking to the right. I'm just shrugging my right shoulder. Right? Because here, I can also get this right here potentially. And he'll pull that arm out, and then you get here. So you're gonna overwrap it here, and now I'm gonna start moving this way because his arm now is exposed, and they're gonna want to posture up, creating the space. Right? You want them just basically to posture up. So what we're gonna do is just gonna wrap the near arm the same way, like this. You're not gonna overhook. You're just gonna wrap like this. Okay. So I need to retract my elbow here. Okay. I start moving my hip away. He begins to, yes. I bring this in here and I start framing. Control that arm here, and I'm gonna go here, and I'm just gonna bring this here, bring down, and I'm gonna just trap it right here. As I begin to, you see how much pressure it puts here? Because he's compromised here. He'll pull this arm out, and you have yourself an open guard, whichever flavor open guard you want, here or here, lasso, whatever it may be, you have. Okay, so let's go here. So what you're going to do is, you're going to bring this arm in and just loop it through here. But I need to get this space here. If he's got a deep cross face, go ahead. Okay. Then also, I'm going to take this shoulder here, make a space here, get the frame in here. With my hip, shin, hip, hip, hip. Yes, here. Because this gets enough space here. Turn away. Oh, sorry. And I just want to bring this down here because look what happens here. His left arm is kind of trapped. And the more I walk my hips this way here, the more it torques it like a key lock. He's going to back up more. Yes. And you're able to get more centered open up. But see how you postured up properly to save that arm. Okay? So one more time. You just need to create the space because your right arm is going to go underneath. Okay? So there's a couple ways to do that, but I want to get my head frame arm in a game here. So I'm going to move my hip to the right. I framed here, I'm walking the hips away. He kind of goes to control my hips here, and now he leaves the space here. We're here, and now that right there, I push here, and now I just bring my elbow down here, and I keep turning onto my right. Yes, right there. Yes, because he doesn't want that there, and now I have open guard here, here, collar sleeve, whatever it may be. You have sweeps and so forth. But the most important thing is that you're not stuck in a half guard anymore. I mean, you're a second guard anymore. Does that make sense? You're going to see it again. You got to loop this arm through. So to loop this arm through, and now what happens is this. You combine the first escape with the second escape, and then you see which one works based on what they're gonna do. Because if he does not kind of move his head towards my hip to control my hip, because the way he controls my hip, just worked it to the right. The way that he controls my hip, which I like to do is, he just brings the elbow here, and he's controlling the right knee, right hip. Because now it's hard for me to turn. The problem is that this arm's compromised, so you can bring this arm kind of over for the top person and get a nice boss grip here, and you're like preventing it from turning this way, but then this arm gets in, and this arm gets in. So now you're here, and now you make them choose. What do they want to control? The head, the hip, whatever it may be. But you got to be comfortable and understand that this, no matter how uncomfortable that feels, okay? Yeah, even grab the deeper on the shoulder, okay? Yes, if your chin is tucked and he starts driving it in, you're able to turn your hips to the right, and yeah, it won't feel like sunshine, but you know, you're not dead. So we are here. I need to create space right here. I'm gonna retract my elbows here, nice here, hips, and I start moving. He moves his head, yes, right there, and I start moving, yes, right there. And now from here, it's like I move my hip in, and then this frames, this comes through here, and then I just want to bring his elbow down. See how he already tilts this way? Because yes. There we go. Yes. And he pulls it out, and then you have butterfly guard, or whatever it may be. But you're going to get this arm through, loop, and start turning your right. Because the top person is going to feel this, and they're going to walk their hips to adjust. Because if you just sit here and your arm's going to get cranked like that, you're going to get killed. Which chaplains do. Good lessons. Ready? What you think?